right, let's do the mailbag.
Woo! Yeah!
Excellent Lindsay scream for the mailbag. From Dawson, I was asked a great question in a discussion with my moderate friend. It goes, what's the difference between healthcare and school? How can so many conservatives support a public option for schooling, such as high school, and hate the public option for healthcare? A lot of different reasons. First of all, school is virtually entirely, I think 8% of the school budget comes from the feds. School is almost entirely a local issue. You get taxed in your community. Property taxes, you have control over those taxes. You vote on those taxes. Those taxes go to pay for schools in your district, controlled by local school boards in your district. That's why I opposed things like Common Core, because I do not want the feds in any way, even if they're doing a good job, I do not want the feds in any way to get their fingers in there. So basically, this is something that's under complete control of the local establishment. Secondly, it's not a bottomless pit. You have to understand that healthcare is a bottomless pit. There is no answer to 2 and 3 and 4 tier healthcare, because healthcare goes on forever. Is it healthcare to keep a 95-year-old alive, using extraordinary measures? Well, if he can afford it and he wants it, then he can pay for it. Do you want the government to say, no, it's time for him to die? I mean, we don't want to give the government that power over life and death. When a woman says, well, it's healthcare for me to get birth control, and other people say, well, what, you're making a choice. That's not really healthcare. That's not like a sickness. You're making a choice to do certain things, take responsibility for your actions, and, pay your own way. I mean, everybody can afford a condom. Go ahead and do it. Remember, nobody is ever left behind in healthcare in terms of emergency care. In this country, there's always been emergency care. You go to an emergency room, they have to take you in. You're hurt, they have to take you in. We're talking about the levels of healthcare that are endless. They are bottomless. When do you stop, and when do you want to give the government the right to decide when to stop? It's unfair, but it's less unfair. It's unfair that rich people can get better health care than poor people. Life is unfair. Life is unfair. If you're trying to fix the unfairness of life, you have to give the government the power to regulate every single thing. Much, much different than your local school.